And hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ligaraketa Matchday 11 of Rocket Championship Season 4. I'm your host and cast Rydro, and today we're going to be starting off with Team Black Diamond versus Puncture, and that's going to be our first series of today. It's going to be a great series, and in my personal predictions, well, I'm expecting T1 for Team Black Diamond, but it's not really going to be one-sided. It's going to be Dejan just starting right off the bat, 4 seconds in. Just, I didn't even finish my sentence. It just like came out of nowhere, just booming the ball all in the net. And that's going to be the first goal in this series. You know, as soon as I just say it's going to be a great series, it's just going to be Dejan just starting off really, really hot. It's gonna be a pass, maybe a flip reset from Brian, but still couldn't really work this one out. It's gonna be Anthony off to the backboard. Not really cleared and still kinda looking awkward for Team Black Diamond. Another upfield pass, but nobody's there to receive it. It's gonna be Anthony just waiting for the ball to be passed one more time. We're seeing a lot of poor clears coming from Team Black Diamond so far. But this one's gonna be decent enough, and Frosty just trying to get the redirect. It's gonna be Dejan just slowing this one down and just putting this one in the corner, and a demo coming from Brian, just making the space for his teammate, but the shot wasn't really on target. It's gonna be the exile. Now Anthony just... The speed of the challenges coming from Team Black Diamond, they have been showing very well, but just the clears, I think they are completely lacking. They're getting the touches to prevent the ball from going in, but it's just not helping them that much. The ball is still staying the blue side for a bit of a while now, so for Puncture, it's kind of welcoming a lot of shots for them. It's going to be a 1v1 situation, maybe a 2v1 situation, and the Exile putting this one high on target. What a setup, just done all by himself. And the double commit coming from Team Black Diamond, just looking really chaotic in the defense. That's going to be 2-0 for Puncture. Really good setup, and also managed to have enough momentum to go for the ball one more time. So this is already a good start for Puncture. They got an early goal just in 4 seconds only, and now they got 1v2 goal. So it's definitely going to be helping out the confidence for Puncture as they go against the team who is on the first placement in the standing. So for Puncture, I think they definitely need this. So they have been playing very well recently. It's going to be an upfield pass right there. Just going to be shot almost on target though. That was about to be the first goal for Team Black Diamond. We're halfway in and still scoreless. It's gonna be Aquatic. Just putting this one low. It's gonna be a catch by Brian. Just dribbles this one out to the corner. And the back pass. Seeing a lot of passing plays coming from Team Black Diamond, which is pretty good. It really shows that how they are still communicating, even though they are having the chances in the offense, so they're not really forgetting about each other. So I think they're still going to be having some kind of potentials to respond back at Puncture in game 1 right there. So still not really over. We got 2 minutes left, and honestly, it's only getting more and more unpredictable as we get closer to the end of the season. But Puncture, you're just putting really good pressure against Team Black Diamond. And the Exile just carrying this one over. Just putting the ball in the corner. I think these kind of plays are really good to kill time, especially when you're in the lead. So you just gotta take your chance and be really patient. You don't really have to do anything that is really scary or risky. So you just put the ball in the corner, just wait for it to bounce, maybe wait for your opponent to be misreading the ball. And speaking of the misread, it's going to be a whiff coming from Brian. It's gonna be Anthony. Another whiff in the air. It's gonna be Brian clearing this one out. It's gonna be Frosty just looking for the redirect. It's not gonna be there. That's gonna be the last minute of game 1, and we're still scoreless. I've seen a couple of shots and passing plays coming from Team Black Diamond, but nothing much has been happening. There's no point in the aggression if there's no result showing up at all. It's gonna be a shot from Anthony. It's gonna be Frosty being the last man in the back. Acrotech slowing this one down. There's barely any time remaining, so they just need to get 2 more goals, and I don't think that's gonna be possible for them. So I think game 1 is definitely gonna go for Puncture. Give me the last 10 seconds right now as I'm speaking. Frosty. Maybe just looking for that at least 1 goal in game 1. 2-1 is at least like better than 2-0. Unless they get a kickoff goal somehow. I don't know if you believe in miracles, and speaking of miracles, I've seen miracles happening in 2 games, I believe, where they managed to get many kickoff goals. And it's gonna be, oh my goodness! The shot was so close to be an equalizer and send the game to an overtime. It just bounced it off the crossbar and straight into the ground, and that's gonna be killing the ball. But Puncture, it just has, they have been showing so well right from the beginning, and also Team Black Diamond, well, maybe they didn't have the best start. We saw a couple of double commits, and also maybe not the best accuracy when it comes to the shooting, but they have their passing plays. So I think it's definitely gonna get a lot better for both sides as we go through the series. It's gonna be game 2, and Puncture, they are 1-0 against Team Black Diamond on the series. They had a really good start, but the question is, can they carry this start over through the entire series? It's gonna be Brian. Now the Exile, just slowing this one down. It's gonna be Frosty, just coming off the wall, looking for a center ball. It's gonna be Acrotic. And another 50 coming in the corner. Not resulting in anything worthy. It's Acrotic, just still pushing really hard in these corners, just trying to get that midfield control early on so they could be the first to be having the goal. Once again, the ball is going to be played from the corner. And Anthony is there to receive the pass, but it's going to be a miss. There was huge opening for Puncture to actually get a decent shot on target. But you know what, if you miss your shot and the game is still scoreless, or at least it's tied up, you're not really losing much, so that's completely fine. It's gonna be Frosty with a solo play, just dribbles the ball and just flicks it over. He gets a nice catch of the ball, just carries this one over to the upfield, and Dejan already pre-jumping for the flick, and Frosty just putting enough power to prevent Puncture from making the save, and that's gonna be Team Black Diamond having the first goal of game 2. Now Brian with a shot on target. It's gonna be denied by Anthony. Again, just gonna be 2v1 situation, but this time it's gonna be for Puncture favor. Now Frosty with a midfield 50. It's gonna be Brian is there to collect this one up. It's gonna be Acrotic just trying to follow this one up. Team Black Diamond, they're just trying their best to have early aggression. They're just trying to extend the lead and just keep on pressuring Puncture and just prevent them from even crossing the midfield. And once again, the ball is in the orange side. It's gonna be Anthony. Once again, just trying to clear this one away. It's gonna be Brian. Again, they're just Team Black Diamond. They have been controlling the midfield so well. Every time the ball gets cleared, somebody's there to send the ball all over again. It's gonna be a Frosty. He's there for the follow-up. It's gonna be blocked. And Puncture, they stay alive for now. And Brian, not to the best touch. It's gonna be the Exile trying to take over. Now Anthony with a shot on target, and the positioning from Team Black Diamond just looking really questionable right now. Acrotic didn't really get the best shot, and Frosty Kandem is reading the ball right there, and just the last player had to rush after grabbing the big boost pad, and he barely had enough time to even react to it, and that's going to be a tie game. So for Team Black Diamond, they still have to find a way to keep on the aggression while maintaining positioning, and it's going to be Frosty showing up for the second time and just putting Team Black Diamond on the lead once again. Another pre-jump coming from Puncture. This is really interesting. Seeing a lot of pre-jumps in the defense, and it's not really looking good for Puncture at all because it resulted in 2 goals so far. It's gonna be Dajan just trying to center the ball, and Brian just putting this one to the left side. And Frosty with a solid clear. It's gonna be followed immediately by Brian. Just trying to get the second touch. It's not gonna be there, but Frosty is there. Just a hat-trick in game 2. 3 goals by Frosty. He gets the pass from Brian. I don't believe that was meant to be a pass for how Brian was just going at the ball, but still that worked out so well to be somewhat a pass, and that's going to be 2 goals lead for Team Black Diamond. So of course they're going to be taking this one, and they're not going to be complaining at all. One minute and a half remaining. We have seen Puncture. It's just 4 goals already by Frosty in game 2. And another solo play just takes it high and it gets a catch on the ground, faking the opponents, and that's going to be the 4th goal coming from Frosty. This guy has been showing up like crazy in game 2. Whether if it's in defense or just those follow-ups and solo plays. But this time it's going to be Acrotic with a dribbling play. It's had to be stopped from the last defender from the orange side. Now Dajan clearing this one away. It's going to be Acrotic still keeping the ball on the orange side, and it's going to be the Exile just trying to get a 50. And still, the ball is going to stay in the orange side for now. This is looking really dangerous, and it's going to be a beautiful passing play from Team Black Diamond. But Dajan again with those saves and clears, and Frosty almost got his 5th goal in game 2. They're just so quick to be responding back at Puncture. Maybe game 1 was a bit rusty for Team Black Diamond, but in game 2, things are looking way too good for Team Black Diamond. Even though I think Puncture, they're also doing very well, but just not as good as Team Black Diamond. This kind of aggression and also the pre-jumps coming from Puncture, I think they're just kind of holding them back from actually looking calm in the defense to get a better read. But that's going to be game 2, and we're going to be tied up in the series 1-1. And for Team Black Diamond, like I said, they're just showing up so good right now. The series can still go like in so many different ways. I wasn't really expecting like a one-sided series. I'm still not even expecting that, but I still believe that Team Black Diamond is like the better team out there. For Puncture, they're still having a really good speed and moving around the field, but this time it seems like it's their turn to be getting to be pinned down in the defense and just struggling to get decent clears and transitions. In game 1, you have seen it happening for the blue side, where Puncture kept pushing and pushing, and Team Black Diamond, they kept having to clear the ball away. But in game 2, it seems like things looked the exact opposite. So yeah, it's still gonna be a great series. It's gonna be a lot of close plays happening, and I'm really excited to see how this one will go like. It's rare to see series getting tied up really fast. Like, for example, Team A gets to win a game, and the next game Team B gets to win. It's mostly just either that specific team gets to win 2 games in a row, or just nothing. But this time we're seeing 2 good teams playing against each others. So we're definitely gonna be expecting a lot from the series, and Dajon once again just starting really fast, 19 seconds in this time. And again, it's gonna be a solo play. That was a really smart play coming from Dajon. Still maintaining to have enough boost to go for the second touch, and Brian wasn't really in the best position. It was a 1v1 situation, but still couldn't really do a better job at stopping the ball from going in. And that's gonna be an early lead for Puncture, just like how they did in game 1. Great infield pass coming from Puncture. Frosty clears this one away. It's gonna be a net wide open, and Frosty putting this one in and just responding back so quickly at Puncture. It just the pressure maybe just backfired really hard for Puncture. They just started really hot, but I think they just maybe pushed way too hot, way too much, and also maybe forgot about the communication and the defensive rotation. That just resulted a goal immediately for Team Black Diamond, so they definitely need to be careful for how long they are pushing in the offense. Sure, you want to be aggressive, but you always want to have a third man in the back to buy you some time. So for the 2 teammates, get to rotate back and be ready for the next play. It's gonna be Frosty with 1v1 situation against the Exile. It's gonna be saved this time. Not the best flick, but still, it's kind of creating the chances for Team Black Diamond. And Frosty, again, just this guy has been scoring non-stop. Maybe 6 goals so far, all just coming by Frosty. Like, I think Frosty is definitely one of the most important players for Team Black Diamond, and the fact that he's showing up so well in almost every important situation, that's gonna be huge for Team Black Diamond. And never mind, it just maybe I get to jinx him as I was just speaking of it. Frosty just got caught in an awkward spot, and the Exile just putting so much power in the shot. It's gonna be a ground shot, but still, I believe the speed was doing a really good job as a factor to make it really hard to be saved. Now Anthony sending this one to the wall. It's gonna be cleared by Frosty. Really solid clear. It's also helping out a lot with the transition. It's gonna be Frosty once again, just in a really awkward position, and that's gonna be resulting in another goal. And Puncture, they go back on the lead. Not really in the best position to go for such a high aerial, and that just resulted in a goal immediately, like just like how we said. He's showing very well in the offense, but I believe this is the second time where it happens, where he's just not really ready for the next play to be happening. Maybe at this point, he's looking way too confident that he's gonna be able to get those solo plays every time. Frosty, or maybe Aquatic, somehow the save was for Aquatic, even though I believe Frosty just went for the ball right there, but it doesn't really matter. a save is a save, and now it's gonna be Brian having to play this one out. It's gonna be a boomer clear. It's gonna be followed by Frosty, sending this one to the walls, and it's gonna be Dajan getting the 50, and now Brian just getting the catch, and now with a follow-up as an air dribble. Now Acrotic, barely any boost remaining, having to rotate back, and it's gonna be Frosty having to play this all by himself. 2 minutes left. There's still plenty of time for a team like Diamond. There's no reason for it to be giving up early. There's still plenty of time, and just for the third time, just the positioning doesn't really look good for a team like Diamond, and the net is just left wide open. And now Anthony just putting the ball on target, and that's gonna be 2 goals lead for Puncture. Not really sure what is going on, but things aren't looking just as good as how they did in the previous game, or maybe even compared to the start of Game 3. The XL, just with the back pass, gonna be followed by Dajan. Now Frosty, getting completely demolished. That's now Brian having to take over with 0 boost, and Acrotic just trying to take control and just prevent the ball from being cleared. They're just doing their best to keep the ball on the orange side, just trying to create these kind of opportunities for themselves. As time is just slowly running out. As long as the ball on the orange side, that's going to be creating the chances for Team Black Diamond. I think this is the exact strategy that they're going for. Last minute, it's going to be played by Acrotic, and now Brian following this one up. And Dajan just a very tight save, and it's going to be followed by Frosty. 1 goal difference for Team Black Diamond. Just Brian putting this one in, and it's going to be Dajan. Not to the best clear. It also looked like it was going to be an on goal. And Frosty, he read this one so well. He's so quick to be following this one up. 51 seconds left. Team Black Diamond, they have to get 1 more goal. They have been pushing well the offense, so they just need to do it 1 more time. But the biggest challenge is going to be the timing. 30 seconds right now. Brian putting this one low, but it's going to be followed by Acrotic and Dajan. Now Acrotic with a pass right in front of the box. It's going to be Frosty putting this one high, and Frosty once again just trying to get the follow. It's not going to be there. 10 seconds left. Acrotic just looking for the pass, and Frosty with a follow-up off the walls. It's going to be Dajan just clearing this one away. That's going to be killing the entire time that has been left, and it's going to be Dajan trying to dunk the ball in, but Puncture 2-1 in the series. So the next game, Team Black Diamond, they have no choice but to end it up with a draw. Like I said, the series could already go in so many different ways, and I think that's what making the series even more exciting. Great pressure and also great speed and rotation. But speaking of rotation, Team Black Diamond, they had a lot of misplays in the defense where the last man wasn't really prepared for the ball to be cleared and just maybe go in a quick transition. We have seen it happening like maybe 2 or 3 times in this game, even though like the previous games, that kind of problem wasn't really happening. So it is kind of like an alarming situation for Team Black Diamond. They just maybe they're just kind of underestimating Puncture. So they just need to be really careful with their positioning and also their defensive rotation. I think it definitely could get a lot better than that. Their offensive rotation definitely doing fine, but it just in the defense where things are causing them to be conceding so many goals against Puncture. believe the private match has crashed, so we're gonna have to go ahead and recreate the private match. That's only gonna be taking a couple of seconds. I think for Puncture, they're definitely on the better spot right there. They are 2-1 in this series. So yeah, like if you're like already up in the series, you're definitely in a good spot. So there's like less pressure on you. But for a team like them, they have no choice but to end it up with a draw. And especially since they lost the previous game, it can be really difficult to maybe stay confident and also, just try to play just as good as how he did in game two. I think that's how it was going. Like we saw mostly just solo plays coming from Frosty, but there's still like some other players also were involved when it comes to midfield control, which it surprisingly did so well. It just prevented Puncture from crossing the midfield, and team like them, they had so many solo plays, and also those shots were just incredible. So for team like them, they just need to have good midfield control and also keep up with the defensive rotation. And if they're gonna be having that, that's gonna be helping them out a lot when it comes to having those offensive plays and also the pressure to be building up on the orange side once again. Not the best way to get a back pass. It's gonna be a quick 3v2 situation. It's gonna be denied immediately. Now Acrotech. Now Frosty just trying to pinch this one in. And Brian with a shot. Kinda low, but still. Just the speed. And those shots are just looking really scary. Anthony just completely whiffing the ball. It's gonna be Acrotic with 1v1 situation against Dajan. And he gets to dunk the ball in. A huge miss. You could even see that Dajan was just slowing down, relying on his teammate to get the clear, as he probably wasn't really ready for such a play like that. Just so quick to be happening right in front of the box, and Dajan just had no choice but to go for a 50, and it didn't really go in his favor at all. It's gonna be Acrotic this time, making it 2-0, 2 goals in less than a minute. Another great start for a team like Diamond. Seems like it's like every game is gonna be one-sided, but not really the entire series. So if a team goes on the lead, they just really go on the lead. Like they just get a solid start and they keep on with being on fire and extending the lead even further. Now Acrotic is trying to clear. It's gonna be Brian. They already got 2-0. So I think that's good enough for a team like Diamond. They just could be maybe killing time and just maybe keep up with the rotation. Not really have to go for so many offensive plays. As long as you're just forcing your opponent to be clearing the ball, that's definitely going to be doing you a good job at wasting so much time. Frosty having to make a play with 0 boost on his tank. Now Dajan just pinching the ball. That's going to be the best pinch. But still, they're just trying to create those plays by themselves, as they're done by 2 goals. Now Acrotic, maybe then air dribble. Still dribbling this one over, just almost went like past 3 defenders for Puncture. It was all just a solo play, and that triple commit as well. Thankfully, they just managed to clear it, as that would have been so awkward for them. And now it's going to be a shot coming from Dajan, or maybe it was from Anthony at first. But Dajan was there for the follow. It was cleared, but not really the best clear, as it was right in front of the box. And Dajan putting this one in, just one more goal, and that's going to be a tied up game. Now Frosty back again with another solo play. It's kind of starting to have seen some kind of passing plays in game 1, but in game 2, it seems like everybody got to rely on Frosty with those solo plays. So it's really good to see some kind of variety when it comes to those offensive plays, because I think they're just kind of preventing Frosty from having his own solo plays. As Puncture, they're just still not really slowing down anytime soon. 2 minutes left. They're still pushing. Now Acrotech. Maybe trying to get a delayed flick. It goes for the follow, but still, the shot wasn't really on target. It's gonna be Frosty following this one. It's gonna be leaving him, leaving the ball for Brian, but couldn't really get the follow up. And now Acrotech with a pass to Brian, and that was so impressive. It's gonna be Dejan coming all the way down to make the save. It's gonna be Brian again. Just as I was speaking of those passing plays, we just started to see more passing plays, possibly even more than game 1 and game 2. Now the Exile putting this one to the backboard, and Frosty with a huge clear, as it was 1v1 situation, and if that was a miss, a player from Puncture was already going for the ball. That's gonna be the Exile. Just trying to pass the ball. It's gonna be followed by Frosty. 1 minute left. Can Team Black Diamond hold into that 1-goal lead until the timer goes to 0? Now Dejan. Again. It's gonna be Team Black Diamond. They're just doing their best to keep on controlling the midfield, which is already killing a lot of time. And Dejan with a shot almost on target. That could have been the equalizer. 80 seconds left. It's gonna be another center ball. Still, Acrotech, he goes for the clear. Couldn't really get the best clear. The ball is still in the dangerous spot for Team Black Diamond. It's gonna be the Exile. He's trying to push really hard. And the Exile is trying to get the redirect. 10 seconds left. I believe it's gonna be a draw, since Puncture, once again, they're just pinned really hard in the defense. They're just barely able to break through. And Team Black Diamond, they managed to get a draw in the series. 2-2, and honestly, I wasn't really expecting this, but that was great plays from both sides. Honestly, that was really great to see how everything was very close. And every time, like, a team goes in the lead, like, they just managed to hold the momentum so well to the point where they always gonna be winning if they're like having maybe 2 or 1-goal lead, for example. So that was quite impressive how it was going on back and forth from the beginning, and it wasn't one-sided at any case. So GG's and well played for Team Black Diamond and Puncture. We're gonna go in a short break as we prepare the next series. It's gonna be, I believe, EQ Maniacs versus Kill Arena. So stay tuned for more Rocket League, and we are so sorry to disappoint you guys for waiting for so long, but also the last series also got cancelled, which was Vicious versus V Syndicate. We are so sorry to tell you guys this for the third time, but we're definitely going to be taking actions against teams who are not taking the competition seriously or just not really showing up in time. So hopefully this won't happen next time, because like I said, we're going to be taking actions against those teams, and there are going to be some consequences. And yeah, this is basically another update, and once again, we're sorry to tell you guys this, but we'll see you guys next time.